obviously a lot of people would watch this and just point the finger at me and say, you know what, you're a piece of shit. You know, you're not worthy of being a truck driver. This and that. I lost my job. Best job I ever had. I mean, I bought a house. I mean, it's not paid for, but that job paid so well that even working there as a temp, I was able to purchase a house. So now I've got a mortgage, you know, I've got kids, I've got a wife, you know, I've got family, and I just lost my job. I'm 38 years old. I'm too old for this shit. You know, I messed up really bad. I had to come home from work and tell my wife what happened, and it was an extremely difficult conversation, and it was one of those things where she was just like, I don't even know if I can trust you anymore. I don't even know who you are anymore. Now, I talked to probably about 30 or 40 different companies, and most of them told me the same thing. We do not hire drivers in the SAP program. We can't hire you. You're not eligible. Granted, you guys, these companies are hard to find. Most of them aren't hiring because there are so many drivers in my particular situation. I'm talking about the actual people that are legitimate truck drivers. They have safe records, but they fail a drug test, or they refuse to submit a drug test because they know that they will fail it. I made a stupid decision and I made a mistake. I broke a rule, and it was a big rule, okay? And I compromised my freaking career by doing it. I had to make a big exception to go back to work. So I'm no longer hauling dry van at this point. I'm a flatbed driver now, okay? I suck. I'm not happy with myself. I've turned my situation around. I have done what I needed to do to come back to work, to stay employed, to support my family. I'm going to be paying for this for a long time. However long they're going to be giving me drug screens. I suspect that it's not going to be more than a year. Now, I apologize in advance if I grind some gears in this video. I haven't driven a 10-speed in a couple of years. Crunch. Sorry guys, they took me out of a freaking manual a long time ago. Yeah, it's kind of a crappy situation. I don't make detention pay anymore, you guys. I haven't broken down my pay for you yet because I'm still brand new, and I'm still, you know, I haven't even gotten my first paycheck yet. Should be getting that in a couple days. But basically, I get paid load percentage. So that means I don't get paid for anything else. I don't get paid to deadhead. I don't get paid to bobtail. I don't get paid detention pay. I don't get paid layover. All I get is load percentage. If it's a good load and it pays well, then yeah, I'm gravy. If not, and it's something like this that's very time consuming, that could pose a problem. I'm hoping that there's somewhere I can stop, because I'm gonna retighten my straps. Yeah, I need to stop. I'm gonna stop. I can see one of my straps came loose. I'm gonna stop on the side of the freaking road. I mean, if there's nowhere else for me to stop, then I'm just gonna stop on the side of the road right here. This looks like a good spot, as good as any. I mean, I hate that I'm right on the side of the road, but if I see one that loose, I'm gonna stop and tighten it up. That's what you gotta do when you're hauling flatbed. keep that crap secure, saving lives, including my own. It's crazy how those little pallets will shift so much, you know, even when you tighten them down. Look how dirty I am too. I wonder what they're building out here. They need a crane for. Like a bridge or something? Bridge out. Yeah, I mean, that must be what it is. Awesome. I got to contribute to repairing a bridge for a road. We're both parked up there, me and that other driver. And from what they're saying, we're gonna have to back down this road all the way down here to where the bridge is out. You got all these door swingers. I know I used to be one. You got all these door swingers trying to say flatbedders don't ever back up. Flatbedders don't know how to back up. Bullshit. This is the kind of stuff we have to do. We have to back down roads. I mean, I've done more backing in the past freaking 3 weeks since I started this than I ever did when I was hauling van. When you haul van, all you really got to do is just back into a dock. When you're doing flatbed, it's a lot different. You got to back through freaking construction sites. You got to back through like lumber yards and freaking, you know, all these different building supplies, like where they have their yards at and stuff. Yeah, there's a reason why I have a 48-foot trailer. I wouldn't be able to do some of the stuff that I do with a 53. Okay guys, I think she's ready. Again, let me know what you think about my tarping skills. This is my third time ever doing it. Yeah, this truck has a vanity mirror in it. You know what's ironic? Truck drivers, as much as we look in mirrors, you can tell by looking at some of us that we hardly ever look in the mirror at ourselves. I have learned from my mistake and owned it. In fact, owning it was the one choice that has helped me continue to push myself forward. This past month has been extremely difficult for me. Taking and adjusting to this new job has been one of the most transitional moments of my life thus far. I have been forced to abandon nearly all of my comfort and familiarity in order to move on with my life. So far, it's really helping me overcome some of my personal flaws and issues. The fact that all of you care enough to encourage me is also really making a difference as well. So, thank you, all of you. Okay guys, here comes that truck that just got loaded. I'm gonna take a hard gander at his load. Okay, they're not pipes. It almost looks like some steel. He said they didn't tell him he had to use chains, but it's actually not a bad idea. I mean, looking at that stuff, that's some pretty beefy steel. It's huge. If it does come down to me using chains to do this, I just hate that nobody's walked me through it, you know what I'm saying? Like, I did a lot of research on YouTube, as I was saying before, about the tarping process, but I haven't really watched a whole lot of stuff on chain. I get the gist of it, though. See, he's got 1, 2, 3, 4 chains on that. He's got one on the very back.
Don't worry, I'm gonna take pictures of all my work and send it to my boss. Make sure I'm doing it right. See, this is the part that I don't really understand right here. Shouldn't there be 2 hooks on this thing to bind it? It's got to be able to grab onto it somewhere else, you know what I'm saying? Okay guys, so see, this just to give you an idea about how much I know about chaining. I didn't even realize it, but this is what is missing on my ratchet binders. I didn't even know it when I pulled them out. I didn't even know. She's ready. This dunnage shifted over, and the bad thing is I can't really do anything about it. I don't want to be, you know, beating on stuff out here with a hammer right now. They got other jobbers trying to sleep and stuff, so dang, look what it did to that one. Jeez. I'm glad I'm almost there. Yeah, these are pipes. It says CPVC duct. I'm thinking that possibly this might be a good opportunity to tear strap for the first time. I'm thinking that's what's going on here. I'm thinking that's what the deal is. Now, I probably need to get my butt out of the truck and go ahead and start throwing some straps. Does have to be tarp. Okay. So I'm gonna have to get up there to spread it out. So they just reluctantly told me that I have to tarp this. I'll show you how high this is, you guys. I have to climb up there and spread my tarp out. But first I gotta strap it down. You have to have the arm of a Major League Baseball player to do this shit. There goes nothing. Take a good step back so you guys can see it for what it is. It's a nightmare.
What's going on, Jared?
Hey, these pipes, do they need to be tear strapped?
For safety, I guess if you could, if it was possible to get one on the lower levels, you can.
Okay.
But it looks like you guys have already loaded it without throwing any straps on it.
Yeah, I mean, he just threw it up there pretty quick, so.
Next time, if you think you need it, or if you want to, you know what I'm saying, next time you probably just have to throw your strap over there before the operator loads anything else.
If I had some like fish tape or something, you know, that stuff electricians use to run wire. Yeah, there's no way. I just need something real long and skinny. That's what she said. I've got some V-boards. This is taking a long freaking time. I mean, a long time. This is a lot of work, you guys, to not make that much money to do it, you know what I'm saying? This load's not even paying that much, and it's not going that far. I mean, it's just going about 250 miles north. But there is one thing I'm gaining here that can't be bought or sold. It's experience. Gonna do this twice. Get up there. Check it out. You see what I'm saying? Look at this. Now let's just hope that it made it all the way to the other side. Oh yeah. She good. This just makes me feel a little bit better. You know, it makes me feel like, hey, I went the extra mile to secure this. Oh no, don't blow it off. Come on. Chill out, wind. See, I need a way to get like down there to pull it forward just slightly, but oh no. Don't do that. Why did I do that? Shit. Okay. I was thinking of something that I could compare tarping to. And I don't mean to sound sexist when I say this, but this is like arts and crafts for men. This one was a beast. Look how that got parked. Like I'm supposed to be able to get out of here with that much space. Back up, back up. When I leave, you can have my spot, but you're blocking me right now. I can't even get out. All right, just back up, and when I leave, you can get the spot. How tight this crap is. Okay. So let me show you guys what I'm dealing with right now. This right here. I might have a coolant leak. On top of the oil leak, I might have a coolant leak because I filled this thing up. I mean, it really wasn't even that long ago. So guys, while I'm just sitting here, I wanted to point this out.
all the signage on this building right here. This is like their 10 commandments of safety. This place is like religious. Since this morning, 3 gallons of water I put in that freaking thing. I'm just gonna call him and tell him, look, either you fix this truck this weekend or I can't work with it. I'm not stopping every 75 miles to fill the coolant reservoir up. I don't have time to do that. Well, as you guys can see, I'm clearly in a different truck today. This is a Western Star. First 13 speed I've ever driven. Let's try that again. Somehow I managed to turn the windshield wipers on. I thought of the perfect name for this thing. I'm gonna call it Brutus. Trying to get it out here on the interstate now. Man, this truck's got some torque. I like it. Gosh, this is ugly, guys. Please forgive me. I know not what I do. I know that if you're a truck driver and you're watching this, you're probably cringing right now at my driving skills. There's a part coming up. Don't look real good. Look at this crap. Ooh. Man, flatbedding's awesome. I love it. It's so much better than freaking dry van. Oh my gosh. I hope he has enough room. Oh. Wow. That is nuts. That's gonna be me in a little bit. You guys see the ass end of that thing coming up off the ground?
This crap is heavy. Giddy up.
You ain't overweight?
I'm just barely under the limit.
Yeah, we normally came with 18 or
Yeah, it was like 79, 760.
the truck must be light.
So there's two different ways to stow your straps after you roll them back up. One way is to keep them on the rub rail like that, but I found that actually takes longer because you're taking more time to tighten it down, so this doesn't move around or come off while you're driving. So I've got this other method I've been doing. It's called corralling, and what I do is I roll it all the way up. Okay. You got somewhere to put these? He's laughing at me because I'm talking to myself. You guys love it though, right? You love it. You know you do. Anyway, back to the corralling I'm talking about. Seems like more work at first because you're using bungees and stuff, but it's actually not. Now, this might seem a little different and maybe even eccentric, the way I'm stowing these things, but it was an old school cat that taught me how to do this. Keep a couple bungees on your rub rail, got them all together, hence the term corral. But you gather them all together or corral them together, and you just hook some bungees, you know, right there and right there. It works best when you put them in groups of 5 or 8, I guess, like if you have 4 and 4 or 5 and 5.
Get more batteries on it.
I mean, if it ain't working, I'm not allowed to get up there though, am I? No, okay, all right.
Now you don't have to come here if you don't want to. If you want to take it outside and do it, you can do that.
That'd probably be better. That way I don't hold anybody up.
Awesome,
So,
man.
appreciate it. Okay, guys, so I'm gonna have to throw these up here and strap them down. And tarp off-site because I'm not allowed to get on my damn trailer here. You gotta tarp the stuff, but you can't get on your trailer. You gotta use this machine, but it doesn't work. So in other words, that means, yeah, you can't tarp here. You gotta go somewhere else and do it because our machine doesn't work, basically. Go climb on your trailer somewhere else that's not on our property so we don't get sued if you fall off. Okay, guys. I said I was gonna do it. I'm a man of my word. I'm gonna do it. So, time to get busy. There you go. Man of my word. There's a nice shot right there. Well, so far I've taken, you know, from the time I got put back in service after my mishap, I've taken 5 drug tests so far. The first 2 don't count for step 6 of the SAP program. The reason why is because the first one is the one, it was a return to duty, so it put me back in service. The second one was a pre-employment, so that's what got me hired. Okay, but then I've had 3 others since then. I got hired at the beginning of September. It's now November. I just took one a couple days ago. I'm not putting myself in this situation ever again. It has been a living hell. I haven't let it affect me as much as a lot of people would. I just presume. When I say that, I'm just presuming. I just continued on with my life, business as usual, trying to earn a living, you know, busting my ass out here, trying to make as much as I can to replace my last job. If you guys were wondering, or if you're curious as to the meaning of the name of my channel, or even what the hell I was thinking whenever I decided to call a YouTube channel by that name, don't worry, you're not alone. A lot of people, my wife included, seem to get the wrong impression from the name of my channel. And I hope you get where I'm coming from, and I don't even have to go there. But my response to my wife and all those other people was, get your mind out the frickin' gutter. That was my response to them. The meaning of the name of my channel has nothing to do with anything pertaining to the 4-letter word that starts with F. It has everything to do with the 5-letter word that starts with T. That's why it's truck me eccentrically. Truck. Not that other word, okay? It has no hidden meaning, no innuendo insinuating anything having anything to do with that other word, all right? It's truck me eccentrically. The way that I figured I could get away with it was that, well, if that other truck driving company, you know the one I'm talking about, I think it's Arca Express, they can drive around with Go Truck Yourself on their trailer doors, then I can get away with having a YouTube channel called Truck Me Eccentrically, okay? And it means exactly what it says. That means that I like to do things a little bit different, and I try to stand out. I'm not trying to, you know, prove myself as being special or any more worthy of having, you know, better content than any other truck driving channel on YouTube. That's not my point either. I just wanted to kind of stand out. And I mean, when I look at myself as a truck driver, I just see myself as the way I've always seen myself when it relates to just about anything else out there. I've always been the black sheep. I've always done things differently. I never fit in school. I was always the outcast kid. And so I just feel like I fit into the trucker community in a very similar sort of a way. Like, I'm kind of a black sheep. I don't really fit in. And I'm okay with that. In fact, I feel, you know, confident enough in saying that to name my YouTube channel Truck Me Eccentrically. It's because I like to do things differently.
Yep. All these things before?
I haven't.
Be careful with them. They top heavy, they'll get up.
Okay.
Well, I was telling her one of them rolled over in the gorge yesterday. Come into that curve through the tunnel right there on exit 4, or mile marker 4. You come out of the tunnel, there's a hard curve to the left. You went in there too hot, laid her over.
I was gonna ask you, like, when you're going through that section, I know what you're talking, it's about 20 miles.
Yep.
They got the big yellow sign that says slow down to 45 max speed.
Yeah, it's 50 mile an hour max speed
Okay.
for trucks, but there's a couple 45 mile an hour turns. Well, I went through her at 60. I went through her at actually 80, but that's back when I was pulling dry kill lumber. Anytime I get a top heavy load, I'll roll through her about 50, 52.
Okay.
But I know that road so well. I've traveled that thing for 20 years. And I just know where the turns are that I need to slow down for, and I know the ones that I can kind of just lay in with.
Right.
Because some of them, they'll tilt the road, and you can just lay on with it. You know, you just stay about 50, 52 through there and roll on. But some of the things, man, especially when you're coming out of that tunnel, the tunnel's transitioned like this. So when you come out of that tunnel, the road doesn't flip back. It stays like that. And then you hit that left turn.
Okay.
So you're already laid over anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm gonna take it easy, take it slow. Okay guys, I got a problem. So I was coming around one of these curves at 50, and I just so happened to look back at my wheel. I was turning this way, just like this curve right here. I look back and my freaking tag axle on the driver's side, you know, the one in front on the trailer, was up off the damn ground just now. And I think my whole load just shifted. I may have been going less than 50. But yeah, I happened to look back. I couldn't feel any kind of force or anything else. I just happened to look back, and yeah, it was off the ground. Yeah, the whole damn thing shifted. The back of it shifted about, I don't know, 3 or 4 inches over to the passenger side. And it's not because the straps weren't tight enough, it's because the whole freaking trailer almost flipped over just now. It's just up here on the right. Okay, I see a crane. Yep, I see the trucks, okay. Cool. It's over, guys, woo! We did it, we got it here. Oh God. Oh shit. Oh my God, you see that? Oh. That would be something, wouldn't it? You get it here, you get it in the freaking the yard at the construction site, and then you go over the wrong angle on a plane and the whole thing just tips over as soon as you get here. Oh my God. You guys ever been so stressed out, so nervous that you literally start sweating bullets? Yeah, that's what this is like.
The important thing is I got the load delivered and I didn't have, except for that one particular turn where the load shifted, I didn't have any issues getting it there. And I don't feel like because of the fact that I was driving safely because I took all the turns safely. I slowed down. I did all these things that these people are screaming at me in the comment section telling me to do. When you got a top heavy load, you have to consider that, and you have to drive like you have a top. You have to adjust to the conditions. Do you really think I would have made it through those mountains if I didn't do that? Seriously? I did adjust to the conditions. Now the thing is, there is a God, okay, and I got through that, and I had to slow down. I wasn't trying to drive fast to begin with. I was taking another driver that said he had experience driving on that road with the same stuff. I was taking his advice, and I did what he did, or I did what he said he does. I took the same speed. In fact, I was actually going a little bit slower than what he said he did. When he halted, I figured, okay, well, he's got a lot of experience, so I'm not going to go that fast. I'm going to go a little bit slower than that. And guess what? The load still shifted. So when I've got people asking me, how could this company load your trailer like that? Or you know what, better yet, how could you leave that place with your trailer loaded like that? Number one, I've been a flatbed driver for like 2.5 months, almost 3 months, okay, almost 3 months. I've never picked anything up like that before, ever. Okay? I knew it was top heavy when I looked at it. I'm not a freaking idiot, okay? I'm a truck driver too. I've been doing it for 7 years. I've been doing flatbedding for under 3 months. I came in to this job not by choice, not because I was looking to go into flatbedding, not because of any of those things. It's because I had no choice. This is the only job that was available to me.
Now you guys see I'm not overreacting. You saw that, right? I was just backing up in low, and it almost tipped over. This shit ain't no joke.
And I didn't want to do flatbedding. I didn't. I was happy with doing drive-in. I was. I mean, I was bored with it. And I told you guys that I was bored with it. And so I was a little bit excited, trying something new. Now that I've done it for a while, with the quality of training that I got when I took the job, I don't like it. Maybe if somebody actually took the time to reinforce my understanding of things, then I would appreciate it a little bit more. But no, I got dumped out there in the real world, expected to do all these different things that I'd never done before, and expected to do it with no training. So that means everything that you've seen me do in all of my videos, I did with no training. All I did is watch other people do it, and I did it myself. That includes YouTube videos, and that includes every place that I go to pick something up, watching the other drivers and doing what they're doing. Does that make me less of a man? Does that make me less of a truck driver because I haven't had training to do this? Like I said, when you got people asking, how could you leave that place with your trailer like that? It's because I don't have a choice. It's because I'm trying to do all the right things right now. It's because I'm in this SAP program, and I can't just take another job somewhere else. I look for a job. It took me a long time to look for a job. I found one. It wasn't a job that I would have normally taken. Under normal circumstances, I never would have taken a job like this. Flatbed truck driving for a small company with no training? Just pick it up and start doing it and be expected to keep up with no training? I wouldn't have taken this job, and guess what? And I'm just being honest with you guys. I'm being real. My income with this job so far, I mean, I've been here, like I said, just under 3 months, but my income so far, it's about $30,000 to $40,000 less per year than what I was making on my last job. So just keep that in mind, guys. 2 weeks before I got fired, I got my safety bonus. You know, they just add another $1,500 to your paycheck that was already almost $2,000. It was nice. 2 weeks later, I failed a drug test for taking freaking legal crap that I buy in a store. Over the weekend, I lose my job. I'm out of work. I still got a mortgage. I still have to feed my kids. So what do? I jump right into this substance abuse program. First thing I start doing is everything they're telling me to do, I get it done within a matter of 2 or 3 weeks. And then I have to look for a job. And this is the only job that I can find. This is a tiny company. 3 trucks on the road. They do flatbedding. Okay, I've never done flatbedding before. He's like, I prefer that you have a little bit of experience, but if we need to, we'll train you. Well, they need drivers here, okay? They've got to keep their business going. I understand. I get it. And he's like, okay, well, you know, come back tomorrow and you'll have your first load. Basically, is what he says to me, and that's when I came back and I started, you know, and it was ugly. And I'm sure that, you know, if I would have filmed my first load that I ever picked up, you guys would have just face-palmed the whole time. You wouldn't have been able to watch it because it was ugly, okay? I did not know what the hell I was doing. First of all, I have like zero motivation to want to learn how to do flatbedding. But because I have a family to support, I do it. I push myself to do it. I force myself to do it. I get through it. I do the best I can. I give everything I have. I put everything I've got into it. I'm pretty good at doing stuff like that. If I'm passionate, and of course, like I'm a man. It was hard, but I still gave it everything I had. I did not give up. I'm taking this new job. I'm doing all this crazy stuff that I've never done before with no training. Okay. If I have to make a phone call to the office here and ask my boss a certain question on how to do something specific, if I have to send him pictures, if I have to video call him and double check to make sure I'm doing stuff right, that's what I did. For the first few weeks, that's what I did. Why? Because I care about safety. I do. I care about doing things right. I do. Sometimes inexperience can cause people to do unsafe things, and that's what happened in this video. So is it my fault that the load shifted? Sure. If you want to blame me for the load shift, sure. I should have slowed down even more. I should have been going even slower. I was already going under the speed limit, but I should have been going even slower. That's fine. That's on me. But it's not my fault that I do everything that I have to do. I come back to work. I get put in this really messed up situation, after busting my ass for nearly 3 months doing this. I go to this one particular place. I picked this load up. I didn't like it at all. I didn't want to haul it. So for the person that asked me, how could you even haul something like that? How could you even leave that place? I'm between a rock and a hard place. I want to be safe. If it's something that's in my control, I go overboard on it to make sure that it's safe. That's just how I am. I am a safe person. If I could relive it, then no, I wouldn't have hauled it. I'd never hauled anything like that before. Okay, they don't put stuff like that in van trailers. And that's where all my experience is. It's in hauling dry van. And they don't put stuff like that in dry van trailers. So this was a first time experience with hauling something like that. Was I in a messed up situation? Hell yeah. If I start refusing dispatches on this end of things with this company, they're gonna fire me. And I can't allow that to happen. I need this job right now. Do I like this job? Yeah, I like certain things about it. Am I planning on staying here? Doubtful. But right now, I need this job. I need this job to get through the SAP program. Otherwise, I might as well just lay it all down and freaking not be a truck driver anymore. I don't want that to happen. Am I a good flatbed driver? No. Hell no. Do I need you to tell me that? No. I know I'm not a good flatbed driver. I'm not. You know why? 'Cause I got no training. None. I'm figuring it out as I go. Was this my choice? Only because it was my only choice.
Ooh, it's got a smoke ring on it. Check that out. Nice. You go with the grain, right? Well, it looks like it's going that way.
This is what Daddy's been smoking for all night long. Here's how. Try this.
What is it?
Jared smoked this in the smoke.
Oh, they're so good. A chicken.
My daughter. Good morning, baby. You want to try some brisket? It's finally ready. Meet Lucy. Again, I'm not going to tell you guys how much I'm making for this, to do this. I don't want to. I think it's unreasonable, but I'm trying not to complain. Just trying to be thankful that I have a job, you know. Trying to stay positive. But I don't think it's fair. I don't think it's a fair amount, especially, you know, having to tarp it. It's a pretty unreasonable amount of money for the amount of work that I'm doing here. In my humble opinion, it just is. But hey, that's just the way it goes. But that's why I'm gonna make this a much faster job from this point out by running my bungees around the rub rail and not tucking all of them underneath the rub rail. I know there's a sense of pride that comes with doing things right and proper and everything else. And it is a proud job. It is. In this case, it's a labor of love. But in my case. It's just a labor. It's just a labor. Put it this way, I don't mind doing the work. I just want to get paid fairly for the work that I do. And I don't feel like I am being paid fairly for the work that I'm doing here. But that's neither here nor there. It just is what it is. But I'm still gonna do it. I'm just gonna do it like that instead. So, forgive me. I've seen a ton of other jobbers do it the same way, and I think they're doing it for the same reason. Just my speculation. But look how fast this is. It's just boom, 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 boom. I was thankfully, you know, fortunate enough to get behind another driver this morning, and I'm watching the whole loading process here. I'm watching everything that this driver's doing. He's got a really nice flatbed trailer. He's got double-sided winches. He's got tons of straps. I'm looking at this guy's setup. I'm looking at him work. I'm watching him, and I'm just like, I'm really impressed the way he did that. He tear strapped the front of it. He's actually got 7 straps on the front of it. And then he tear strapped the back of it, the very last stack. He tear strapped it. But he just like automatically knew where to put his winches, and he just knew like exactly what to do. And it's not that he's like moving super fast or anything like that. He's going very steadily, but he's not moving very fast. But it's not even taking him that long to do this. Like, just piece of cake, you know. Way I like to do this. Don't ask me if it makes any difference or not, but I like to think of it like I'm tightening the bolts on the head of an engine. I start at the middle and I work my way out. It's a definite tarp.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. He's going to Connecticut. You know, you're going to Douglas, Georgia.
Yeah.
It ain't my call. They set the trucks up. Walmart does.
Okay.
Yeah, if it was up to me, I wouldn't tarp nothing.
Well, the weird thing about this is you ain't got much footing up there. You know, you try to get up there.
Right, yours gonna look the same way. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I am not tarping this. What I'm gonna do, since my tarps are already up there, and I just had to loosen my damn straps, which I don't like, I'm gonna have to climb up there and put my tarps under my straps and keep them up there. So, I mean, you guys know the deal. If it does rain, they're up there already, and I'll just get up here and tarp. But if it's not necessary, then I'm not gonna do it, because look at this shit. I mean, this is just asking for you guys remember those DVDs from the 90s called Faces of Death? Jesus is coming, repent. I've been seeing a lot of those signs lately. You know what I think about that? I don't even think they understand what the word repent means. That's what I think. Religion will tell you that repent means turn and go in the other direction. Stop doing what you're doing. But do you guys know that the original word repent, as it is written in the Greek New Testament, is the word metanoia. It's a Greek word, and it doesn't mean turn and go in the other direction. It means change the way you think. See, when we were going through that first work zone, I had all these trucks pass me because I wasn't speeding through. And then, of course, we come out the other side, all those trucks that were speeding through the work zone have speed control on their trucks, so I passed all of them. Well, now they're all about to catch up with me and pass me again. But I'll pass them again once we get down there to South Carolina, so that's the way it works. You see what happens when you put speed control on your corporate trucks? It causes your drivers to speed through work zones. That's the only satisfaction they ever get of passing another truck, is by speeding through a work zone. Join me on the sarcasm slide. It's fun. Be very careful with your cheater bar, okay? Especially when you're putting tension on those winches, whether you're tightening or loosening them, regardless, this thing will slip from time to time. First day coming back, Monday morning, I delivered, went to unload, and loosened the straps up and everything, and that slipped out of one of those winches and nailed me on the freaking leg right there. Just busted the crap out of my freaking shin. So that's the main reason why I'm wearing shorts, is because when I wear the long pants, it just makes that even more aggravating to deal with. Check that out. Don't see that every day. Look at the exhaust on that thing. Wow. Some view, huh? Toledo Triumph, Panama. Get over. But right now, I'm trying to build up a little bit of speed, We get up here to the crest. Thank you. I know I'm an inconvenience for you, but you're really helping me out right now. I appreciate it. Just try not to get stuck in that exit only lane. Look at this view up here, guys. Isn't that something? Awesome.
The following program has been interrupted by the capturing of some much needed and well-deserved home time by special request.
Jonah?
Hold on, put him up there.
Mr. Bohms? Y'all ready to channel your inner Clark Griswold?
Yes.
Let's go. Oh no. It just failed. Yeah, that just freaking happened. You got enough for half of the house. 3 more cases of icicle lights from Walmart. So that's why I just wanted to say Merry Christmas, because it's Christmas time and I want to talk about Jesus, the real Jesus, not your religious imaginings of who Jesus is. The gospel is not the news that you can accept Jesus Christ into your life. The gospel is the news that Jesus Christ has already accepted you into his life. Regardless of whether you believe it or not, it is what it is. It is the truth, and the truth will set you free. That's what he said. So what I'm doing presently at this moment, since the new year has started and everything, is some things have changed. I'm no longer considered regional for the time being. I'm no longer sleeping in the truck. I'm local now. I'm going home every day. And which I think is a good thing, by the way, because it's just my preference. But I'm kind of doing dedicated work right now, because this company, same company, picks up contracts with Scott's. Scott's is a company, they make all kinds of stuff with it, or let me put it this way, they produce and manufacture all kinds of stuff. Fertilizer, grass seed. In my particular instance, what I'm doing right now is dedicated runs for Scott's, hauling mulch and topsoil, that kind of stuff. Guys, this is what I'm talking about. You see that oil light? That's coming on because the gauge right here is dropping to 0. Now let me prove to you what I was trying to explain in my last video. Check this out. Let's get out of the truck real quick. I'm gonna shut everything off. There's a kill switch down here by my leg. All right, all the power is disconnected to the truck. Only thing I've been able to do as a countermeasure, like I said, this is what I'm saying, doing things that you should never have to do while you're driving a freaking truck, especially a manual. Flip the ignition while you're driving it. Check this out. Hopefully this will fix it temporarily. You see all that smoke coming out of there? It's burning oil quicker than it can keep up with, I think. All right, you see the level. Let me show you. I don't know how good the camera's gonna pick this up, but there's a grate right there, a lattice pattern. And according to this, it's at the perfect level. Perfect level. I don't need the truck to last. It's not my truck, but I do need it to last for the next 3 weeks. So you see, it's not technically the oil pressure. It's not low on freaking oil. I'm just having to put more in it because it's burning it so fast. Now let's check the freaking water level. I just filled it up before I left this morning. Something's leaking down here. It looks like the yep, it's leaking down here. This high pressure hose on the bottom of the radiator, it's leaking water. You see that? Pretty steady drip there. I'm trying to depressurize this thing safely instead of taking it right off. truck's not running hot, but I want to try to get rid of some of that pressure. Okay, it's got water coming out of it. And I've always had issues with this truck, but it's on another level now where it's a daily thing. Whatever this is, they can't fix it. They don't know what's wrong with it. Either that or they know it's gonna be expensive to fix it. It's gonna cost more than what the truck is actually worth to them to fix it. So no matter how bad it gets, no matter how hard it gets, I'm not trying to hold this shit together anymore. It's too much. It feels like everything's falling apart around me. But with the way this company is, if this truck's not running, then I might not have a job. So I've got to keep this truck on the road. Here's what it's doing. Let me show you what it's doing and what I have to do as a counter measure to it. You see, I don't know if you can see that gauge or not, but it's at 0. I just filled the engine up with oil, right? Well, my gauge is reading 0, and it's going to continuously do this for as long as it wants to, I guess. Sometimes it'll do it for 5 minutes. Sometimes it'll do it for 2 hours. But I know the engine's not low on oil. I know that. I just filled it up. Well, guys, Brutus is back. In my truck. Well, I don't know if you could consider it my truck anymore. I think I'm out of it. I don't think I'm getting back in that truck. According to the boss man, that truck is gonna be overhauled. Can I drive a 13 speed? Well, you guys saw what happened last time. We're gonna try to prevent that from happening again. But I've been practicing with her, trying to get better at shifting and stuff, get more comfortable, more used to it. Because it is a little bit different. It's not the shift pattern, it's just the feel of the shifter itself. There's so much going on. I gotta flip this and flip that. It's very tedious driving this truck, man. I did actually figure out how to drive this thing without grinding the gears. The last thing I want to show you is what my problem was and why I think I was having such a problem with the shifter. There's a diagram of the shift gates and the pattern and everything else, and if you look at the shape of it, it's like 2 H's put together. But I noticed that with this particular shifter, it's not actually an H. If you want to shift this thing without grinding, you actually kind of have to imagine an X. So are you guys familiar with the logo for that clothing company Under Armour? You know what I'm talking about, where it's got like a U and then it's got like an A, but the actual shape of the U and the A, it's kind of curved and it looks like an X. Well, that's kind of what the shifter is like. Okay, I'm in 7th gear now. I'm gonna
Downshift the 6th gear. Now 5th. Now I'm going over that way. All right, now 4th. See that? I had to go out and then back toward me to get it to go into gear. Second gear right there. Morning.
Morning, how you doing?
All right.
Oh joy. You want to hold on to that?
All right.
Got a camera up there, or you got is that a camera?
Oh, yeah,
or you got a flashlight.
It's a camera. People love to watch this kind of stuff. So,
Really?
yeah.
You have a YouTube channel?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
And it's called Truck Me Centrically.
Truck Me Centrical?
Yeah.
I have to look out for that.
Cool.
I've seen truckers, you know, on their, you know, short videos of them cursing out drivers and cutting them off and brake checking trucks. And
Oh,
all
yeah.
that. Okay, when's he gonna hit? When's he gonna bang?
Yeah, I don't do stuff like that, but I mean, coming up here to downtown Atlanta is kind of interesting, so I figured I'd get it.
Yeah. Do you have a camera in your truck too, or just?
No, I need one. I need a dash cam, especially up here.
Is
But
that a GoPro?
yeah, it's a GoPro.
I would have thought about getting one, but never have. So
They're pretty cool.
yeah. All right, just give us a few minutes.
All right. I'm one of those people that like I can like easily feed off of somebody else's emotions. And because of that, I like to please people. I like to make people happy. Because that makes me feel better about myself, you know? I know that kind of sounds pathetic, but I tend to be kind of a people pleaser. I mean, does anybody know what I'm talking about? Can anybody relate to that? So whenever I feel like I did everything the way that I was told to do it or the way that I should have done it,
and I came through and somebody has that kind of reaction toward me, it sets me off. It tends to set me off. It bothers me. And that's just the kind of person that I am. I don't know why I'm that way. I just am. I like to affect people around me in a positive way. But then when somebody negative around me affects me in a negative way, I'm kind of reckless with it. Like, I don't know how to react other than to just absorb their negativity and let it control my own emotions. It's a weakness. It's definitely a weakness. It's not a strong point. I'm just trying to dissect the situation, because if I can go back and dissect each element of that experience that caused me to react that way, I think it's going to help me ultimately. If I can understand this one situation and wrap my head around all of it, then maybe I can use this understanding as a way to overcome the next situation that's going to try to trigger this weakness in me, to cause me to react in a negative emotional way that's not doing anything to accomplish growth in me at all. It's just eating away, and it's deteriorating me on the inside. That's the ontology. That's the reality of it. We're all the human race. We're all spiritual beings. The fact that you're human doesn't make you unique particularly, because we're all human and we all have these traits. We all have these humanistic characteristics. But the fact that you're a spirit makes you completely unique. There's no two people that are exactly the same. So my point in talking about all this and it describing to you, explaining the makeup of human contemplation, the way that we think and the way that we respond to the world around us, the way that we react. We have all been thrown into this deception of self-centeredness. When you depend on your own interpretation, your own understanding of any given thing, and the way that you believe the world works, the way that you believe, the way that you see that, you know, like how everything functions around you, and you built this understanding, this logic behind it. It's based off of self-centeredness. Relating to it in the ontological way, you have this way of looking at the world. You have this perspective on the world and everybody in it. And it's based off of your own understanding or interpretation of the way that things work. Therefore, you have your own judgment. You have your own way of passing judgment. And see, our biggest downfall as human beings is that we take our understanding and our judgment, the way that we interpret things, we take that and we've mistaken that for reality. And because people are different, no two people are the same. No two human experiences throughout any given lifetime are going to be exactly the same. So people are going to have different measures of exposure to different things. They're going to have different ways of reacting to certain things. They're going to have different ways of thinking about certain things. And that would be what they've mistaken as reality. So most people see reality as being subjective. Okay? And then I think about when I was a child, before I was hurt, you know, before I was exposed to the pain, the anguish, the tormenting aspects of the world around me, the way that I thought when I was a child, before I was disappointed by my peers or my parents or anything else, before I developed emotional scars, the way that I thought, the way that my perception was. And I remember when I was a child and I felt the perichoresis, I felt the love of God all around me in all things, and I thought differently.
was a child. I didn't automatically, you know, enter the world judging people. I was just happy. I was content. I was lacking nothing. I was whole. And I was completely responsive to the love of God all around me at all times. Yes, I was hurt sometimes, but here's the thing. I lived in this place that was unmolested by the tragedy of the world around me. And then as I matured, became of age, as I was exposed to darkness on different levels, it slowly changed me. That's when my dreams began to fade away. I no longer felt that other side of myself, the spiritual side of myself. And that's what I'm trying to get back so desperately. I'm trying to get back what I had when I was a child, and that connection that I had to God when I was a child. But no, religion will tell you that you're born into sin and that you're depraved from birth. And I actually don't believe that's the case at all. I believe that we come into this world from one life source, and that is God. That before we came into this world, we were eternally with God. And when we leave this world, we will eternally be with God. But we have the choice, we have the free will to accept that we are accepted. And you got all that weight on your trailer because the axles are spread. Those tires are actually going to start fighting with each other once you get past a certain point of an angle. So they're actually working against each other, which makes it pretty much impossible to do this when you got weight. This is not a big area right here when I'm turning around. Another issue I'm running into is that my airlines are wanting to remove themselves from the glad hands, or the, you know, where they mount onto the trailer. If I get at too much of a sharp angle, so. Trying to do that, but I'm glad I didn't get stuck just now. I know some of you guys are probably wondering, are curious about a couple things. Some of you are probably wondering, like, you know, the last time you said something about the SAP program, you were telling us that you had 3 weeks left, and that was over a month ago. So why the hell are you still with this company? And guys, I never guaranteed, I never promised that I had 3 weeks left. I was going off of what my SAP counselor told me. If you want to count September, October, November, December, January, February, that's 6 months. It's been 6 months, but I still have the violation on my clearinghouse. I'm still in the program. It might go on for up to a year. It might be longer than a year. Hell, I don't know. And that's really all I know, guys. They keep me in the dark about all of it. They won't let me know anything. So that's all I can really tell you about it. Now, yeah, I was disappointed. I got my hopes up. I was ready. I was ready to move on. I was ready to get a different job. It's just a complete whiteout. You can't see nothing. Which means I need to drive even slower than normal. Alright, we got a truck sign, use lower gear. I think stuff like this is good for you when you're a truck driver, you know? It just, you're polishing your skill, you know?
Yeah, you might be slowing traffic down a little bit, but like I said, if you get an opportunity to get out of their way, then just get out of their way.
So you guys know those little square, flat things that are on, you know, posts and walls, sometimes walls, that have like these things on them called letters that when you put them together, they make words to speak a language to communicate, right? You guys know about what I'm talking. What are those things called? What exactly are those things called? Signs, right? Signs. Okay. What does that sign say? I'm stuck right now. I can't move. I'm surrounded by objects.
It just wasn't made for trucks. Because of that, well, it's a problem. I hope I'm able to do this, you guys. This is gonna be a tough turn right here. And lo and behold, they're turning. So I'm gonna have to back up. See, I can't do anything. I've always got vehicles crammed up my ass. Every time I try to do something in a truck in one of these parking lots, I get bum rushed. Every single freaking time. There we go. You guys tell how out of shape I am? I've been doing those Scott loads for the past 6 months. Those loads are easy. I'm really out of practice. Way out of practice at this point. Damn, that's a heavy box to carry that far.
What?
That's a heavy ass box to carry all the way up here.
Yeah, I know.
I was sitting here hoping I don't do the same thing and forget mine.
I looked down in the damn passenger seat. I'm like, oh shit. I was gonna turn around and come back. I was like, nah.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah, when I got here, I had to get them to move all these vehicles on this side.
Wow.
It took them like 30 minutes. All kinds of shit.
Man.
Be safe.
All right. So I just happened to notice that I looked in my mirror and I saw that the truck that had to go around me is still sitting down there. And I looked at my mirror and I see this guy coming up with one of these boxes. And I'm thinking, man, these boxes feel like they weigh about 100 pounds. He just carried that because he forgot to give it to him when he was up there. Oh, I gotta go. I don't know what he's gonna do, but my point is, I don't want to forget to give them their stuff. These boxes, it's their stuff. And I don't want to forget, because I'm going to end up walking 2 of those heavy ass boxes up that hill. It's times like these that I'm glad my trailer doesn't have walls on it. This is a tight ass turn, okay? I'm gonna hang it to the left. But I've got some garbage cans in my way. I'm gonna have to adjust and get as close to them as I can. I might even have to get my ass out of the truck and move them, because there's a telephone pole right there. I mean, it's right there, and these damn trash cans were just strategically placed. Okay, I cleared it. All right, now I gotta back up. with a damn car behind me. Okay, they moved. Now I gotta back up between two cars. Man, this is a gauntlet this morning. Well, I didn't like that sound. That sounded like a strap ripping. Damn, the edge protector came out. That, my friends, is a ripped strap. Now, I've been here for almost 11 months now. So I've been doing flatbed for almost 11 months. I made it, you guys. What can I say? I faced that giant of complication and difficulty, and I feel like I've conquered it to a certain degree. I still wouldn't want to haul that top heavy stuff. Guys, oh boy, I got another one. WTF, right? Hopefully this isn't going to be a top heavy trouble part 2. Hopefully. If I do it just right, I might have a few seconds to pull this off. When their light turns green, yeah, get pissed off, run the red light because you got stuck behind me. So their light's gonna turn, their left signal, that lane's gonna clear out, and I'm gonna have to make this turn right now. Like that. Cleared it. And that's how you do that. Got to make a left turn onto Del Mar Boulevard up here in half a mile. I know I kind of put myself in a messed up situation back there, but I didn't have any other choice. If you guys noticed, there was actually a vehicle trying to get in that left turning lane just as I was using it to make my turn. Did you guys see that? Yeah, that could have been bad.
was curious just sitting there, so I wanted to look up where his company was located. Well, turns out his company is called Midwest Truck, and there's a truck in the way now. Hang on, I'm gonna get out of the truck real quick and get this. Like I said, this is completely by accident, but if you look down there, right there, that building, that's actually his shop right there. Midwest Truck. Ron Pratt, the YouTuber. So that's awesome. I can say that I literally stayed at the truck stop. I think I've seen this truck stop in some of his videos before. I'm not fanning out right now, but I think it is pretty cool that I'm like this close. I once drove a truck through West Monroe, Louisiana. That's actually the town where Duck Dynasty is. I'm gonna go ahead and get in the left lane. We're going up a hill. Suddenly, we're going up a steep hill. Wow, okay. Suddenly I'm in 6th gear. He said that it was big enough for a truck too, so that's another thing that I'm putting into consideration. Wow, this just got very mountainous all of a sudden. Okay, my turn's coming up. I need to be really careful right here. I hope it's not on a blind curve. That would be the worst case scenario right there. Go ahead and put my turn signal on. All right, I see the road. I'm gonna downshift. Grind it. Oh God. This is kind of small, you guys. Okay. Going for it. In 4th gear, I ought to be able to get up this steep ass hill. Wow. No way, man. This is wild. Everything about this load so far has been interesting. Where I picked it up at, where I took my break last night. Okay, there is some equipment sitting right here, but oh my God, this is a steep hill. Holy crap. The truck is bogging down in 4th gear and I'm on a steep ass hill. Come on, truck. Don't do this to me. Anyway, getting back to the U-Pass. I had a lot of people leave comments on that particular video saying, "Oh, you should have got the synthetic urine. You should have used that stuff. You'd still have your job right now." Answer to that is no, absolutely not. You will not have your job if you get a DOT drug test and they detect that the stuff that you put in the cup is not urine. They're gonna know that it's not urine. And this U-Pass stuff, it's not human urine, it's not animal urine, it's not anything like that. It's from what I understand, it's got some urethra, or what is that stuff called? I can't remember what it's called. Urea or some crap like that. in it. If the weather starts getting really bad, I'll try to film some of it like a news anchor or something. This is what's going on in Sulphur, Louisiana. Look at the sky. Look at that cloud. It's very dark. Yes. We've got a little bit of wind going on here. Well, we did a second ago. It stopped. It's camera shy. So my wife is like, she's really against me going back to doing food service. She's like, if you choose to do that, then you're selfish. And I'm like, how is that selfish? That means I'm working harder for our family. I'm making a hell of a lot more money. You know, I'm putting less impact and less stress on you as far as finances go. So how is that selfish? And she's like, because you know you're not going to be able to do it for a sustained amount of time. You're just setting yourself up for failure. And if you set yourself up for failure, then you're not going to be able to work at all. So I see where she's coming from. But at the same time, it's like, man, if I'm gonna do this, if I'm gonna drive a truck, then I want to make good money doing it. And doing food service is the best way to make good money as a truck driver, if you don't mind working your ass off. I just wanted to happily express to you guys that as of September 5th, 2024, I am no longer in the SAP program. I say that with strings attached, though. So I'm no longer in it because I completed it. I did get a little bit of stage fright in the beginning when I realized people were actually going to watch me pee in a cup. That took a little bit of time to get used to, but I even got used to that after so long. I handed them that cup like it was a frosty cold beer by the time it was over with, because I was confident and I felt good. Like, hell yeah, here's my clean piss. You want it? It's right here. Guess what? Substance abuse is genetic. It's something that you inherit through your genetics. And just because there are people out there that don't have those genes, that haven't inherited substance abuse, that doesn't mean that you guys are perfect, okay? That's one thing that, guess what? That 20-hour substance abuse course taught me, is that, yeah, there are genes that people inherit at birth that pertain to addiction and substance abuse. And these people didn't do anything to acquire these genes other than just get born. I don't know what's going to come of all this, but I'm sick and tired of looking at all the circumstances and letting it eat me up inside. I'm just going to say that everything happens for a reason, and our Creator is working all things for our good, and He's holding all things together, including the darkness. You know what the past year has helped me realize? That what I would call rock bottom, you know, that black hole that each person has inside of themselves, that area of pain that we try to avoid that's inside of ourselves. We're always trying to get away from it. I know that's how I am. I'm always trying to avoid it. I'm always trying to get away from it. I think the hellacious reality of the circumstances I've been in over the past year, it's helped me realize that running does no good. It does you no good to run away from your pain. This industry dehumanizes human beings. If you do apply for a new job, that's going to be the first thing that they ask about. Is your track record? Is all of your paperwork in order? Do you have this? Do you have that? Do you qualify? They don't want to meet you. They don't want to see your face.
They don't want to make face-to-face contact with you. They want to completely eliminate the relational aspect out of it. You know, the human element. They want to take all of that out of it. And instead of looking at you as a human being, they want to look at all of your records. Because they don't want to know who you really are. They just want to know what you've done. To them, what you've done is more important than who you are. And I have to say that when it comes to our Creator, who you are is a hell of a lot more important than what you've done. So they're actually in opposition to our Creator. And the funny thing about it is, all this record keeping, think about all the expenses, all the money that like the FMCSA, the insurance companies, and the carrier companies spend on record keeping. Think about how much all that costs to keep up with all that shit. But they're willing to pay it because to them, what you've done is more important than who you are. Your choices only get to decide who you are if you let them decide who you are. Even though the system, the man-made system, has labeled you as a SAP driver, that's not who you are. And the real, true God, He doesn't do compartmentalization. He does not do categories, okay? Because he looks into every single one of us and He sees our true identity and who we really are. Even though the rest of humanity may fail to do that. And that's the best part about it, guys. We don't need each other's approval. I don't need the approval of the FMCSA or the truck driving industry to claim my identity as who I really am. And I will never let them decide who I really am. I won't even let my own conscience decide who I really am. The only being that gets to decide who I am is my Creator, because He's the one that created me. He knows more about myself than I do. And He knows that if I ever come into alignment with my true self and I ever understand who I really am, and therefore am able to receive that full measure of love that He has for me, He knows that that would solve every issue that I have right now. And that would completely dispel every bit of darkness that's within me. And it's the same thing with everyone else on the planet.
I just wanted to be personal with you guys and take some time with the camera pointed on me so you can actually get to know me a little bit. This is not good circumstances, and believe me, there's way more to me than this screw up, okay? There's a lot more about me that you still have yet to know. Anyway, with that being said, I want to say thanks for watching my videos, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Fresh, new content, new job. I hope you guys are looking forward to it. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Later.